The All Progressive Congress, APC, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party are still fighting over the $460,000 forfeiture allegation in the United States of America against the APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The APC Presidential Campaign Council had accused the presidential candidate of the PDP and LP, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, of sponsoring fake news against its candidate, Tinubu. Tinubu was said to have forfeited $460,000 in alleged drug money to the U.S. government, but the spokesman of the Tinubu-Shetima Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, has said that the $460,000 was tax deducted from one of the 10 accounts linked to Tinubu in the United States. Speaking more on the matter, the Director of Media and Publicity of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, accused Atiku and Obi of forging the letterhead of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the signature of its National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, to spread fake news against Tinubu. And elsewhere in the South-South, a federal high court sitting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital, has ordered the All Progressive Congress, APC, to conduct a fresh gubernatorial primary election within 14 days. The court nullified the APC governorship primaries that saw the emergence of Akamo Udofia as the party's candidate for the state in the 2023 general elections. Delivering judgment on Monday in a case instituted by a former aide to President Muhammadu Buhari on Niger Delta affairs, Senator Itayana, who also contested for the APC governorship ticket, Justice Agatha Okeke ordered that a fresh primary election be conducted within 14 days from now. And in Abuja, the Defense Headquarters has released names and identities of 19 terrorist commanders who it said have been wreaking havoc in northeast, northwest, and north central regions of the country. The military high command said it will give a 5 million naira reward to any Nigerian with information on how the terrorists can be apprehended, urging the public to come forward and assist in the fight against insurgency. It stated that this is necessary in order to sustain the tempo in clearing the adversaries and completely restore peace in Nigeria. Also, the second edition of the Arise Presidential Town Series was held on Sunday, and this time around, presidential candidates of Action Democratic Party, ADP Yabagisani, African Action Congress, AAC, Omoele Sowore, that of All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Professor Peter Omedi, and presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Adewole Adebayo, spoke on their plans to revive the Nigeria's economy and security infrastructure if elected president. So tonight on the program, we are joined by the presidential candidate of the ADP and chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Engineer Yabagisani. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, together with him, we will discuss issues in the polity. As you can see, so many things happening as we brace up to the 2023 general election. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yes. Today, as you can see, the military, let's start with that. They released names of 19 high-profile terrorists or bandits or whatever name we call them. And they said Nigerians should come forward to, help in identifying and then arresting them. What is your take on this?
Well, I think it's a good development, in the sense that the military is realizing that it's not something they can do alone, and wanting to now bring in all of us. I say all of us because it's about the Nigerians, and of course, fight against insecurity cannot be done by only the agencies of the government, military agencies. It has to be something that you involve all the citizens, so that in terms of intelligence gathering, processing of intelligence, and acting on it, can now be done holistically.
Yeah.
Holistically in the sense that perhaps they just brought out 19 names.
Yes.
If you are able to engage effectively with the citizens, like I said, they may get more than 19.
The high profile.
Yes, exactly. High profile.
They mentioned Tuluji,
yes, exactly.
Sububu, and all that.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it critically, these bandits, most of them are not people that are fundamentalists. They are not faith. They are not ideologically inclined.
Yeah.
Yes, bandits. It's basically about money.
It is all like in the
Boko Haram.
Yeah, Boko Haram, where we had Sheikh
exactly. Those ones are for ideological reasons. They are fighting. Those are the ones that are difficult, to handle, because you can't easily appease them. But these ones, with the inducement that they brought out, I think it will get us somewhere, because the issue of how much can you pay, to even their own followers, So I think it's a step in that direction. But again, you see, to fight insecurity in this country, we need to have a well thought out policy, on security itself. You must also have standards, that you follow in applying those policies, so that you can be able to easily avoid risks. You can easily identify threats before they even happen, and you'll be able to take action when there's an incident. So if you look at our security architecture today in this country, I'm not sure there's that kind of well thought out policy and standards. And even if there were, there's no synergy between the different agencies of the government that are supposed to fight these non-state actors. So, and again, if you look at the scenario that we find ourselves, where it doesn't seem as if the commander-in-chief himself, either for reasons of esprit de corps or information quality, intelligence, doesn't get to him or something like that. We
or maybe
have
it
not
is subdued
seen,
in most cases.
exactly. We have not seen yet actions that commensurate with the insecurity. I'm talking about the devastation.
Yes, you spoke on this during the debate yesterday, which we will get to. But today we've started getting feelers that how secure will people be if they divulge some of this information? Because honestly, between Niger, Zamfara, Katsina, up to Kebbi, and then when you come back to Kaduna here, locals are fully aware of where these bands, because they mingle around them, they go to markets, and they give
confidence. You need to build confidence in the locals. That's why I said you have to be able to do it holistically. Holistically will mean not all. That's why I say you have to have a policy and a well thought out policy that people can believe in, and people believing in it will mean that witnesses or informants will be adequately protected. So if you cannot give protection, as we have seen in the past,
because we have reported on many occasions how, like Boko Haram, ISWAP, going and killing people simply because they divulge simple information. And you can even see how do you even put this together side by side with the whistleblower policy, because it has somehow fizzled out. Is it because of lack of confidence in the system?
It's because the system itself is completely corrupt. The corruption is so endemic in our system today that nothing will work as it's supposed to. If it's in other countries or other climes, it will work. Because believe, if you go to any ministry and you want to do business with any ministry, at all, you'll be disappointed because care is not taken from the highest level of that, of the administration in that ministry to the lowest person there, it's all about what are you going to give to me? How much am I getting? This is true. It's not about Nigeria. They're not even, they don't even care. And it's done with impunity.
Yeah.
And to the extent that even the security outfits are supposed to fight insecurity for you, if you are employing today and you want somebody to be employed, you have to go and pay.
Oh God.
Yeah,
we did a story. Honestly, we were shocked at the weekend. We did a story in one of our titles that now there is even a portal where you can go and apply to police the number of vehicles you want, the personnel you want, so that they can come and guide you to go, and do maybe political gathering or whatever. Yeah. Like a private security outfit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's one. I'm talking about people that you are recruiting, into this, armed forces. The armed forces, the police, like you said, and even the paramilitary. Unless either you know somebody, or worst part of it is that they will give you a price that you have to pay. So tell me,
to get
even employed. So tell me, when this
and when you get enlisted, whatever you do, certain people must pay.
Exactly. So if you have to pay for this job and you expect this person to now be not be corrupt, corruption is what brought me in. So I don't know anything, other than to see how I can recoup my money and then pay whoever. Maybe if you have to borrow the money from somebody to be able to pay and get the job. So it's as bad as that.
So what do you think the Chief of Defense Staff should do beyond declaring the bounty?
Yeah.
What do you think he should do in order to actually resolve this problem once and for all?
Well, I believe that they need to really act. They need to take the battle, to these people. Saying that people should get information on this rule is okay. But the military must demonstrate that they are really ready to fight these people, go to where they are hideouts, attack them. We have cases of these bandits writing letters to villagers that we are coming, pay so much. If you don't pay, we'll come and attack you, and then nothing happens.
And you have to pay to even harvest your crops.
Yeah. We even have a case, like of a banditry, Binto Band, being given a chieftaincy title in this country. So how bad can it get?
The government defended that he has repented, and that was why they said, okay, let's bring him to the mainstream of such.
Well, whatever it is, I'm sure, even if that's the case, it could have been done in a much better, manner. Yes, not the way it was handled, because it was an embarrassing situation for even the government, for them to now later come to tell you that no, this is what happened. It's not what you saw that happened. So the point I'm trying to make is that the agencies of the government, like you mentioned, the Chief of Defense Staff. I think time has come for them to really demonstrate by taking the battle to the doorstep of these people, to fight them, go to their hideouts.
Yeah.
Because how many people are we even talking about? These bandits.
Yeah, the rat tax.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, the asymmetric ways of doing it is okay, but you need to also take action against these people. It doesn't stop at just negotiation or understanding. Some kind of persuasion. It's okay if you can engage in that, like we are trying to do now. Get people to give you information on the movement of people, involve the traditional rulers and other opinion leaders in society, so that they can also. That's why I say it's about all of us, and they really. The fight against insecurity should be something that all citizens, are involved. But the agencies, that's the security agencies themselves, they owe it a duty to protect. Exactly, to protect, the civilians.
Well, thank you very much, Engineer Yabagi. Many people see you as ombudsman or class rep. Let me put it mildly, because you chaired the Inter-Party Advisory Council, in which almost all the 18 registered political parties are members. Now, look at how should I say, the leading parties, even though all political parties are leading. But look at how they have taken themselves to the market square between, from Friday to this moment. I'm talking about PDP, APC, and Labour Party, hurling insults at, one another. Are you worried, especially in the light of this allegation against the presidential candidate of the APC?
Well, I'm sure politics is about JoJo, it's not war, really. And these things happening, I believe it's expected.
Okay.
Yes, it's expected. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us in this country, the three gentlemen you mentioned, they have been effectively reduced to ethnic champions.
This is another dimension.
Yes.
Even though people have been discussing.
Yes, ethnic champions. And what you see them doing is not per se fighting Tinubu as Tinubu. You look at the Igbos, from what has been demonstrated, that Peter Obi is fighting the cause of Igbos, the Southeasterners. Tinubu, when he came out, he said it's a ton of Yorubas, the Emilokan things and what have you, and that is so he is representing the Yoruba interest. He didn't hide that.
He said he has built bridge across.
Well, bridges, where everybody built bridges, but from what he said himself, when he was coming out, that this is the turn of Yorubas, and they should vote for me because I'm a Yoruba man. Atiku also echoed the same thing at Arewa, engagement.
But he said he was misquoted.
Yeah, all of them will tell you that they are misquoted.
But it was deliberate.
Yeah, but the reality of the situation is that how do you remove them from that perception, of who they are really? They are representing these three ethnic groups. And unfortunately, like I said, these are some of the major fault lines that we are trying to put behind us so that we can progress as a nation.
Yeah.
We don't want an Igbo president or a Yoruba president or an Hausa man president. We want a president that must be a Nigerian, that looks at Nigeria as his world, not his ethnic group. Exactly. And then that must demonstrate capacity and merit, the merit in terms of the ability to deliver, the track record, the capacity and the ability to think out of the box, to solve the basic problems that are even confronting Nigerians.
But do you see the allegations around Tinubu as mere politicking, or there is substance in it, and people are now bringing it out in order to actually get the record straight?
Well, let me remind you.
Yeah.
Atiku also had his own portion of this towards 2019.
Okay.
That he couldn't enter USA. That he had a case of somebody bribery and things like that. One to the extent that one of the congressmen was removed, and then that it was about his wife, not himself, and things like that. So you will hear of all these things. Peter Obi also had his own, so
they are all not clean in court.
Well, people will dig into your past, once you come out that you want to, in politics, Some people have said that Peter Obi was also, nothing different from Tinubu.
But is it good for the politics?
In terms of the drug issues and what have you.
Yeah.
So you don't know what. Well, if you want to lead the people, they want to know who you are. They want to know your past. And the onus is on you to now dispute or, tell them that this is not who I am. And
yes,
then bring
for
proofs.
instance, that of Tinubu, Kiamo said it was actually tax deductions and all that, and then people are now from about 10 different accounts.
No. You're not expecting anything different from what Kiamo is saying, because that's what he's employed to do. Is to tell you what he's telling you. But the truth of the matter is that this is politics. Politics, like they said, sometimes it gets dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think I heard some of them say they are going to fight dirty, as a build-up to the.
But you are the ombudsman. Have you reprimanded such people?
No. You see,
even though you are also a presidential candidate.
Yeah, that's well, I'm a president candidate, but that does not remove the fact that we have to conduct ourselves in a responsible manner and campaign on issues. We must embark on issue-based campaigns and a high level of decency, in the way we conduct these elections. Otherwise, care is not taken. Democracy it's really in a very.
It's an endangered species.
Yeah. We are almost moving to a tipping point. We're in a very precarious situation. Very precarious in the sense that people have expressed their dissatisfaction with what is happening across the board. Nigerians are not happy with what is happening. And it will appear as if Nigerians have got themselves boxed to a corner. That what are the options available to us? But we are telling them.
And the options are becoming increasingly
narrowed.
Yes.
So, but we are telling them that other countries have done, we are in a worst scenario case. But they did what you need to do. There are options. You have 18 political parties, like you said.
Yes.
All of us are Nigerians. We qualified.
So it's really wrong to narrow the options to maybe
only
2 or 3.
To only 2 or 3. That by some assessments, these 2 or 3 do not meet the minimum requirement. The irreducible minimum that you require, of a presidential candidate. From what the people are saying, these ones do not meet the irreducible minimum.
Because you can see, you can see how they are hurling, insult at one another. Just yesterday, the Atiku campaign said Tinubu is not even qualified, that he should be, in fact, he should disqualify himself. And then this letter that came from, INEC in court, which was disputed. Have we reduced so low to the extent that we will even compromise the electoral empire in the country?
Well, the electoral empire, I'm sure, will fight for themselves because they have.
Which they did, They came out to dispute
exactly.
The letter,
So, and then, we're in the era of fake news. You can hardly be able to trace the origin, of these letters. It may not even be those that they now claim to be.
Yes, because the APC actually fingered PDP and LP. I don't know why they didn't finger your political party.
No. They don't think that we, in the first instance, they know very well that we are the credible alternative. Or they don't see you as a threat? I don't know. No, well, the kind of threat we are, there's a threat that you can do nothing about.
Okay.
Because, and then there are threats that you can easily, neutralize. You see, when you have a candidate whose idea has come, ideas are not easily, demolished. It is just, persons that you can easily demolish, or the scenario that but people like us were people that were ideas that our time has come in this country to take this country out of this quagmire. There comes a time in a nation, every country, where you just have to do the drastic, take drastic, action. In order to avoid a total loss.
Anarchy,
Yes, total loss as far as this country is concerned. Because the issue is that ask an average Nigerian today and measure any of these 3. They'll tell you, well, I don't know, it doesn't meet their expectation at all. Why? Because of the history of what has happened. Today you are talking about Tinubu being involved in drug, allegedly. Allegedly. Like I mentioned to you.
There was even a documentary which is going around.
But more was said about Atiku himself in 2019.
Some even claim that he's not even a Nigerian after serving as...
So all these things are there, but you see, beyond the personalities, you now have to now look at the history, behind even the political parties that they represent.
Okay.
That is where the problem is more compounded in terms of
because of the history of the political parties.
Yes. The PDP swindled Nigeria for 16 years before, APC, came on the scene.
But they claim that Nigeria was far, far better compared to APC.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the realities that we are faced with today, but it doesn't mean that you want to go back to Egypt. No, we don't want to. No, nobody wants to go back to Egypt. Because it wasn't what Nigerians want. It isn't that Nigerians
and that was why they were booted out.
Exactly. So Nigerians didn't want something to come back, that kind of thing to come back again. And that's why parties, other remaining parties, are there for Nigerians to take a look at, with the remaining candidates. That can this one do it?
Yes, we will get to those candidates you are talking about, including your humble self. But yes. Are you worried, going by the preponderance of fake news, especially in the last few weeks? You see, and Nigerians appear gullible to some extent. They quickly, take whatever is, pushed to them. Are you worried that this issue of fake news has also diverted the attention of candidates? Just every other morning, we are just trying to defend something that is fake, No,
it could be some kind of conspiracy against the people.
Aha.
In the sense that when you are out of ideas, you don't have anything to tell people. What do? You create a state of confusion.
So you believe it's not really, it's really deliberate?
It's deliberate.
By who? Like who and who? You think?
Well, by the actors on the scene.
Including you?
Well, actors, no, well, you cannot have a total anarchy. You can't have everything, that is bad completely. Yeah. No, God, does not, because when you're talking about the people, our Creator, will not leave us just in that kind of,
quagmire.
Yes, exactly. Without giving you a way out.
It's because only if you refuse Nigerians to take. Appear confused by the attitude of the actors.
It's deliberate, and it is happening because those actors are out of ideas. They don't even know what more to tell Nigerians. The kind of things that are happening even now under APC. How can APC campaign on a very clean and then slate?
But they are campaigning. You can see they are moving from one state to the other.
Exactly. They'll be doing that. But that's a pushback, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's because of the pushback that they'll say, okay, if that's the case, let's
confuse this.
If you can't convince them, confuse them. There's that saying. So, but the issue now is that, like you've been asking, that as Chairman IPAC, what are we doing? We are doing quite a lot. We are doing quite a lot because we have a committee within IPAC that is engaging with all the political parties and even the candidates to say that they should understand one thing. If democracy fails, the first casualty is the political class. The biggest losers are the political class. Because
most of them take politics as vacation.
Vacation. Even if you don't take it as a vacation, the fact that you are involved, if democracy fails, you are in a very
tight problem.
Exactly, exactly. Because at that point in time, before you separate, the ones you said have only politics as their career or something like that, from those that are there to contribute their quota, in a manner that will not, affect their credibility and things like that.
Yeah.
Before you separate them, it takes a while. Everybody will have suffered by then. So that's why we are telling each other that this is not about Nigerians.
What we are trying to do. It's not about deceiving Nigerians.
No.
But it's about telling them the truth.
It's about you. Because if you allow this thing to now, fail, Nigerians, some of them will even, have parties.
Yeah. They will have options. We'll discuss this.
They will celebrate. Some will celebrate.
We will take a short break because I can see so many complicated issues.
Yeah.
But we will take a short break, and when we return, the conversation with Engineer Yabaji continues. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our various social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. We are discussing issues in the polity with the chairman of Interparty Advisory Council and also the presidential candidate of ADP, Engineer Yabaji Sani. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yes, before we went on break, you made mention how politicians deliberately, confuse the political terrain in order to have their way because they are short of ideas. Yesterday you were on Arise TV, and basically the four of you, the candidates, they ask you questions on two basic issues, the economy and then the security. They ask you, will you hold the position of petroleum minister? But you made a statement that the president is actually holding two sectors and they are all comatose. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, the question, the whole town hall meeting was about two very, very important aspects of governance, the economy and the security. So, and I say that the scenario we have in this country, unfortunately, can be traced directly to Mr. President himself. Because
directly, everything?
Directly to him.
But he has so many ministers, more than 5,000 appointments.
I'm talking about the economy and insecurity, which we are talking about.
Okay.
I said Mr. President is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, isn't it? So which means he directly, supervises the issue of security of the country. Yes, he has advisors. He has his National Security Advisor. He has the Minister of Defense, who's there. He has the service chiefs. But end of the day, as far as that security aspect is concerned, that's why they call him Commander-in-Chief.
So it's not just nomenclature.
To underscore. Yes, underscore the fact that he is the one that is directly responsible for, the armed forces, that is security of the country, both in terms of territorial integrity of the country and the internal security of the country. That is under Mr. President. There's no other way to say it. All those that are there were appointed by him, but he directly is responsible for that. And I said also, when you look at the issue of economy, the economy, you can't but accept that NNPC represents the major sector of our economy today. Oil and gas contributes more than 90% of our foreign exchange that we get earning, and more than 60% of our income comes from there. I'm talking about what you use to now run the other sectors of the economy.
Yes.
So oil and gas sector has backward and forward linkages, with other sectors of the economy. So dominant. Yeah. So, and this sector too, Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum Resources. So which means, aside from being the president and then supervising and having people that he delegated his authority to, who are now presiding over the affairs of other sectors of the economy, like Minister of Trade and Investment, Minister of Tourism, Minister of Digital Economy, and then Finance and all these things. Yeah. He has the direct responsibility over the operations of these two key sectors of the economy, which to an extent, I thought it was a good idea to do that, but with the benefit of hindsight now, I think it was a very wrong
decision
to take.
He shouldn't have even superintended the ministry, for instance.
Exactly, in the first instance, because what he needs to do is to get people that have the expertise, you know, and then the who believe in what he believes in, that he believes that these ones will do what I want them to do. He should give them KPIs, key performance indicators.
Yeah.
And then he should always engage with them directly to have feedback. What are you doing? How far have we gone? What have we done wrong? What have we done right? How do we correct it? Mr. President must have one-on-one with his ministers as often as possible, because they are the president in those ministries.
But if you're talking about knowledge of this,
yes.
Since when we were young, we heard that he was Minister of Petroleum. Was it during Gowon or during who?
Yes, no, during Obasanjo.
Obasanjo, good. Now
was Commissioner of Petroleum.
Good. Now he headed the PTF during Abacha, which is not actually cabinet, but you know, with a lot of mileage.
Yes, exactly.
And then for 7 years,
social aspects.
Is there any correlation between, you know, holding these big offices and
you see, President Buhari was elected based on his 3-point agenda, which is the economy, isn't it? How to grow the economy, how to solve the problem of insecurity, and how to fight corruption.
Yeah.
So it is okay.
Expanded it.
It's okay. If you ask me, where do we have corruption so endemic? In the oil and gas sector. So if the agenda of Mr. President is to fight corruption, he should supervise that sector. And if the insecurity that you want to cure, you want to solve the problem of security, it's okay that already he's commander-in-chief, so he didn't need to do anything more.
Yeah.
But for him taking NNPC, I mean oil and gas sector, I think it's okay. But what is not okay is for him not to do the needful. Discipline, fight corruption, you know, in the manner that everybody will know you are really fighting corruption.
Parameters are lacking.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the issue of rule of law was not effectively applied. You know, Mr. President trusted too much the people that he appointed to supervise on his behalf some of these, I mean, these two sectors of the economy.
So it's not about him.
It's not so much about him. He means well. Definitely he means well. There's no way. Somebody haven't gone through what he has gone through in this country, you know, I mean, what else does he need? You know, nothing more. All he was looking for is a way to give back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
That Nigeria has been so
But he didn't get it right.
He didn't get it right because he was surrounded by people that I don't know how to describe them.
But if you were in his position,
yes.
what will you do differently? Because he passed the PIA, which was lingering for decades. He was able to do that. Is it not kudos for him? And what will you do differently, assuming you are in his position?
If I was in his position, simply, I will govern. I will govern.
You will not be the Minister of Petroleum?
Yeah, no, I won't. I don't have to.
Because one of the candidates there, he said, anyway, I don't want to use the.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be at all. You know, as it is, he doesn't have to be Minister of Petroleum Resources, because what a president's supposed to be is to lead. His job is to identify competent Nigerians who he believes in. And he must believe in them. He must find them to now do the job for him. And then, if you don't deliver, I fire you. You know, or move you from that place to the other. But you appoint people and you leave them there forever, as if they are angels. You know, I understand that. Yes, you want stability.
You were the president for the last 7 years. Will you have rejected your cabinet like 5 or 7 times?
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why in this climb you need to rejig as often as necessary as possible. You know why?
No.
Because in this climb, unfortunately for us, the system is still being developed.
Yeah.
We have not reached a steady state where people do not matter anymore. That it is the law, it is the system. Today you go everywhere, it is the individual that is respected, not the law. And since you can't change that overnight, what you need to do is to keep your eyes on the individual. Don't say, I have laws, I have these regulations, and what have you. We know already that those regulations are not working yet. So, for that reason, you need to ensure that you keep moving people around, you know, within the government.
To checkmate so that they will not go to sleep.
Exactly. You pick the one from digital economy to petroleum, from the one from petroleum to energy or something like that, you know. And then when you discover anybody that has done something wrong, you dealt with the... Look at Singapore, you know. All these countries we are talking about that have developed today and are performing, you know, and are developed as, are described as developed economies, is because rule of law, you know, is applied.
Which is
they don't have, rule of law, that everybody is equal, that you apply the law fairly and equally. And you make sure the courts are open, independent, and fair. You know, so these are things that you need to do, and above all is to fight corruption. And the way to fight corruption is to discipline, to make sure that people who have gone foul of the law are punished.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't punish, believe you me, even God who created us, he created hell and heaven.
Yeah.
Why did he do that? Because he knows that some people deserve to be punished.
Okay, you were asked question, you know, on the economy, which boils down to issue of restructuring. But, you know, Sowore said he will create a new constitution which will allow state police, local government police, even campus police. The ABGA presidential candidate said, no, he would not, he would support creation of state police, but he will also support vigilante. But you said no. I will not allow regional police created out of desperation. What do you mean? Because every other person is asking to have state police. I may be wrong to say every other person, but you can see the voice in its favor is actually gathering momentum, even at the National Assembly. But you said you will not allow something to be created out of desperation.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, out of desperation will mean that people are coming, you know, because they are frustrated out of, you know, the status quo. And therefore, they now want to have something that will fight the status quo, because they have seen the status quo. Vengeance, exactly. They are now seeing the status quo as an enemy that is not taking care of what they need. So I'm saying that we have the National Assembly. You know, if in the wisdom of the National Assembly, they now believe that there should be a state police, it would have gone through the normal, you know, deliberations and people saying, I don't agree, this one agrees, and then the advanced reasons why it should be done. And then it will be something that is done under the auspices of the law. That's the Constitution itself. And the Constitution, remember, is to protect the Nigerian entity. So they will not do anything that will undermine the country. But if you allow people to come, if somebody has set up something and they say because our state, what do you call it, you know, National House of Assemblies have passed the law, so what? You pass the law. You know, I'm in charge of the whole country. You're in charge of just your state. So you can't create a scenario that will lead to dismemberment of the country, because that's
what will be your approach for
my approach will be I will challenge the National Assembly.
Okay.
You know, to go to deliberate and then tell us why you want to have a state police. Tell us why you don't want to have it. You know, because that's the intention.
A certain presidential candidate said he will create 1 million, room for 1 million policemen.
Yeah.
Same with the military. Do you think it's something doable? And assuming you as the candidate of ADP, will you do the same, or your approach will be different?
You see, it's about money. Do you have the money to do it? Because it's not creating the 1 million policemen or 1 million armed forces, soldiers or something like that that is the matter. The issue, first of all, address the issue of revenue. And to address the issue of revenue, we also again have to go back to what I told you.
But can you have revenue in an unsecured country?
Exactly. Can you have a revenue in a country that is so porous that you have financial leakages all over the place and nobody's doing anything? Can you have revenue where you have your Accountant General of Federation, you know, stealing close to 200 billion naira of your money? Can you have revenue when you have your oil and gas sector losing about $5 billion every year? Can you have revenue when the CBN itself has left their monetary policy and then pursuing fiscal policies and then modeling up the whole thing? How do you get that revenue when the system itself is not even operating in the manner it should operate? And this is not difficult to do.
How are you going to? Because since 1999, during campaign, almost every candidate you hear him saying within 6 months or within 1 year, I will do A, B, C, D.
Exactly.
So on this issue of police, for instance, engineer,
police, you need money.
What will you do?
What I will do is that I will stop crude oil theft. It's very easy. We are not the only country that is producing crude oil.
But how can you do that? How can we
stop crude oil theft is that you will have the oil and gas sector working in a manner that is designed. This is not a Nigerian industry, oil and gas sector. It's an international organization. It operates under what you call international best practice. International best practice means you must have meters where you should have them, and you should be working.
Not just to be drawing the oil from here.
Exactly, and then not to have your wellheads that are not even metered. You know, Ahmed, I mean the lady who is now the finance minister. You know,
Ahmed, yeah.
Yes,
Zainab.
Zainab was the executive secretary in NIT when I was doing a job for NIT on metering infrastructure.
Okay.
And I told Zainab, I said, Zainab, she understands, you know, all this I'm talking about, because
the economics
the economy of how to stop crude oil theft is very easy.
Is it that she didn't tell the president?
I don't know what's happening. I said, okay, if the oil companies are saying that the traders, how can the traders come and dictate for you, you know, as the authority? But even at that, if they say they don't want to put, you know, meters at your wellheads while you are producing.
Are you saying they don't use meters now?
There are no meters. They are using temperatures and pressures. Estimates. That's what they are doing. And you know that your revenue from oil, about 26% of it is royalty, which is on production. Can you imagine production that you can measure? You don't have meters to measure it, and you base your revenue, 26% of revenue,
or what
on
they
that.
give you.
What they give you, you know, any figure they give you, or you look at PPT. You know, which is about
PPT? Yeah.
That is a profit before tax.
Okay.
Yes, petroleum profit tax.
Okay.
Petroleum profit, they call PPT. PPT, you pay 25% of that to government. That has nothing to do with your corporate tax that you pay. 25% of your profit goes to government. PPT. How do you measure? They don't have anything to meet. They are not metered, and this is about volume that you sell, and you don't have meters to measure those volumes. So everything is estimate in the industry.
But how can you now handle it?
So
the issue of complicity between, you know, people working in the oil sector, security operatives, the expert trades. How will you tackle this?
How you tackle it is that you have experts in the industry that you call loss control experts, companies, loss control companies. You know, you employ them. They are there. They are available. You know, if you call them, they will work with your management, and they get fees. They get paid. You know, you can base it on barrel. That okay, if now today I'm making 1 million barrels, or you know, I'm making how much are we making? 100 times 1 point something. Well, okay, every day today, I sell crude oil is about $100 million. Let's say, you know, for the purpose of this discussion. If you can increase it, what I'm getting from oil, to say anything above this 100 million that I'm making today, I give you a percentage. It's done everywhere. Because if you have that, these loss control experts will not allow.
Will be addressed. I wish I have time to discuss this more with you, but so, we are running short of time. Yes. I want you to say a word or
subsidy.
Two. Yeah,
subsidy too.
We will invite you to discuss this more, but from in 1 minute, please, or less.
Yes.
You know, at the campaign, at the debate, some of the candidates started this issue, profiling.
Yeah.
Especially some of them, I don't want to mention them, that since herders are carrying AK-47 rifle, regional security outfits should also be allowed to carry rifles. And just a moment, ACF, you know, call on candidates to stop this issue of profiling. As IPAC chairman, what is your take on this issue of profiling, please, in a sentence or two?
Well, you see, it's a case of confused.
Okay.
You know, confusion. We're instead of confusion. And like I told you, I would never allow regional forces to be created.
If given a chance.
Yes, unconstitutionally, no. I am not saying that we can't have state police, but let it be done in accordance with the laid down procedures in the constitution of the country. Okay. They are there, and then every aspect. I mean, every state, every constituency, You've elected someone to represent you there. You know, your interest.
They should take charge.
They should go there and then discuss amongst themselves.
Very much. I will have to stop you here, Engineer Bagisa. I can see you are full of ideas. What you want to share with Nigeria, but we will invite you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all what you said, and we hope those that matter will listen and do the right thing. Viewers, that's a wrap on today's program. Thank you for watching, and do join us again for another edition. I'm Hamza Idris.